الحمد لله رب العالمين صلى الله وسلم على محمد وآله وصحبه وسلم. Sheikh Salih bin Fawzan, Hafidahullah Ta'ala, he said, fearing the punishment of the grave. All praises belong to Allah, and may salutations and peace be upon the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his family and his companions. He said to proceed, the punishment of the grave has been affirmed in the book and the numerous reports in the Sunnah of the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and by the consensus of the scholars. It is the punishment between the realm of this world and the hereafter. The grave is called al-barzakh because it is what separates this world and the afterlife. So it is in the middle. It is the middle stage. When the person dies, he's placed in al-barzakh, meaning in the grave. Then on the day of the judgment, he will be raised from his grave and taken to the place of gathering. After that, he will either go to paradise or to the hellfire. There he will remain for eternity, as the afterlife is the eternal abode. Means it's an eternal means it does not end. It does not end. Eternal means it does not end. So you live forever. There is no end. So there are three abodes. So abodes means places where you live. Abodes mean a place where you live. Like this world is called an abode. Next world is called an abode. Okay. So the abode of this world, the place of this world, the abode of al-barzakh, the grave, and the eternal abode, which is either in paradise or the person who disbelieves in Allah, he will be in the hellfire. May Allah protect us. The worldly life is the abode of action. Is the abode of what? Actions. So here you do good deeds, right? You do good deeds here. طيب, actions. And there is no reckoning here. Reckoning, what does reckoning mean? Reckoning means hisab. You know what hisab is? What is hisab?
Hisab can be used for counting, but it can also
No, here. What does it mean here?
It can also be used for
What is hisab?
the Yom al-Hisab.
But what does it mean?
I don't know what Hisab means.
You don't know it. Okay. Hisab is like when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala hold you accountable for what you have done. For example, you did not pray on certain day. Why didn't you pray on that day? He will put you to account. He will say, why didn't you pray on that day? What was your excuse? You understand?
Yeah.
And then this is called hisab. You understand? So, hisab can be light hisab or can be very severe hisab. Okay? So light hisab is okay, but if it's severe, it's not good. Okay? Now, the worldly life is the abode of action, and there is no reckoning here. So what you do here, nobody hold you accountable for it. But on the day of the judgment, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will hold you responsible for that. Okay? طيب. While al-barzakh is the abode of waiting. So in the grave, you are waiting for the day of judgment to commence. Okay? When the people will be transported to the hereafter, when they are raised from their graves, although the grave is the waiting station, the person will experience some of what is to come in the afterlife. Either paradise or the hellfire, bliss or punishment. So now the person in the grave, he experiences two things. It depends on the person. It depends on the person who is buried. If this person was a righteous man, righteous woman, then they will experience bliss. You know what bliss is? What is bliss?
I don't know. I don't know.
Do you know na'im in Arabic? Na'im and na'im.
Like goodness?
It's goodness is more of general term. But what is na'im? Na'im, it has to be specific. Na'im, what is na'im? Something that you enjoy. You understand? You enjoy doing it. That's called na'im. It's like, okay, when you listen to the Quran and the Quran affects you, you feel you are in a state of na'im. You're enjoying the Quran. You understand?
Yeah.
So when you are in the grave, it's like that. Because the angels, they will show you your place in Jannah. You understand? Mm-hmm. So your grave will be one of the gardens of Jannah. You understand? One of the gardens of Jannah. Because the grave is either a garden from the gardens of Jannah or is a pit from the pits of the hellfire. Got it?
Yeah.
So the person who is in a pit from the pit of the hellfire, is he in a na'im or is he in adab?
He's in adab.
Adab. So na'im is the opposite of
Adab.
adab. So the person is enjoying themselves and the other one is not enjoying himself. He's being punished for his deed, for his evil, or her evil. Okay. This will occur in the grave. This will happen in the grave. The grave will either be a garden from the gardens of paradise, right? Or a pit from the pits of the hellfire. Hufra min hufar in-nar. Allah protect us. And with Allah refuge is sought. This will be based upon the actions of mankind. So this is based on what?
Action.
On the actions of mankind. So if someone did something good, then if they believed in Allah and they did good deed and they did all these things, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, alaykum salam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will admit them into His paradise. And they will enjoy themselves while they are in the grave. When the deceased is first placed in his grave, and his grave is leveled, and his burial is complete, two angels will enter his grave, and his soul will be returned to his body. So after the person is buried, right? And the burial is completed, right? Then at that time, the two angels will come and question him. Okay? He will be made to sit up. And when the two angels will ask him, who is your Lord? What is your religion? Who is your Prophet? Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. The believer will say, my Lord is Allah. And my religion is Islam. And my Prophet is Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And Allah will make him firm. Will make him firm. Would you understand what firm means? What does it mean?
Like he will say like greatly.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Because why does he need firmness? Why?
Because so he can say the correct answer.
Yeah, because they're very scary, by the way. So they have to be like that. They have to be like that. To test the people, to see whether you're a true believer or you're just a liar. You understand? If a person is a liar, he will not make it. He will not make it. You understand? Because the hypocrites, they hide disbelief in their heart and they manifest al-iman on their tongue. You understand? They say we are believers, but their reality they're not. So who exposes them? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So that person, he will not be able to answer. But the one who has firm belief, his belief does not get shaken up. He doesn't have doubt. He is strong in his belief, firm in his belief. So that person, Allah will make him firm. There is an ayah in Surah Ibrahim, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, يُثَبِّتُ اللَّهُ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا بِالْقَوْلِ الثَّابِتِ فِي الْحَيَاةِ الدُّنْيَا وَفِي الْآخِرَةِ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will keep firm those who believe with the word that stands firm in this world and in hereafter. So in this world, at the time when they are dying, so they will be firm and they will say, La ilaha illallah. Right? They will say, La ilaha illallah. And when they are being questioned in the grave, they will be able to say it as well. So Allah will make them firm. So when the deceased is first placed in his grave, and his grave is leveled, and his burial is complete, 2 angels will enter his grave, and his soul will be returned to his body, and he will be made to sit up. And then the 2 angels will ask him, who is your Lord? What is your religion? Who is your prophet? The believer will say, my Lord is Allah, Islam is my religion, and my prophet is Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Allah will make him firm, as Allah exalted be He said, يُثَبِّتُ اللَّهُ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا بِالْقَوْلِ الثَّابِتِ فِي الْحَيَاةِ الدُّنْيَا وَفِي الْآخِرَةِ. Allah will keep firm those who believe with the word that stands firm in this world and in hereafter. Surah Ibrahim, ayah 27. If the person gives this correct answer, a caller will call from the heavens. And صدق عبدي فأفرشوه من الجنة وألبسوه من الجنة وافتحوا له بابا إلى الجنة. So he says, verily my servant has spoken the truth. See? Nobody can play with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah knows everything. So that's why we have to be sincere. We have to be sincere because nothing is hidden from Him. Nothing is hidden from Him. If you hide from the people, you cannot hide from Him. Not hide from Him. So we have to be sincere. We have to have ikhlas. So Allah will say, verily my servant has spoken the truth. So spread out for him a bed from paradise. Allahu Akbar. Imagine you are in the grave and you are enjoying yourself while you are in that state. Dress him in a garment from paradise and open for him a door from paradise. Allahu Akbar. May Allah make our graves gardens from the gardens of Jannah. The Shaykh, he said, then his grave will be spread out as far as the eye can see. Allahu Akbar. Allah will expand his grave for him, be very vast and big. Allahu Akbar. Fadl. Shaykh, he said, then his grave will be spread as far as the eye can see. Allahu Akbar. The fragrance from paradise will come to him in his grave. And he will look at his place in paradise. He will say, oh my Lord, establish the hour. Allahu Akbar. Subhanallah. So I can return to my family and my wealth, meaning in paradise. As for the hypocrites, munafiq, wal-'iyadu billah, and those who have doubts, when they are asked, what is your Lord? Who is your Lord? What is your religion? And who is your prophet? They will stammer and stutter. May Allah protect us. And they will not be able to answer. They will say, I don't know. I heard the people saying something, so I said it. A'udhu billah min dhalik. In this world, the blind follow the people just to live with them. Because the hypocrite, they're like that. They're opportunists. They're opportunists. They change color. They're like chameleons. You know chameleons? They're like that. They say with their tongue that which is not in their heart. The Shaykh, he said, without faith, without tawheed, they only walked with the people to receive the benefit. This is how the hypocrite performs actions in the opens. But in his heart, he is a disbeliever and apostate. May Allah protect us. That's why they are worse than al-kuffar. They are kuffar, but they are worse than the open kuffar. They are worse than them. Because they hide al-kufr in their heart. They manifest what? Al-iman. They say, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, Ashhadu anna Muhammad Rasulullah, but they don't believe. So those are worse than those who say, I don't believe it. It's different. طيب. This is extremely important, ikhwan. This is very, very, very important matter. Because this has to do with our belief. Very, very, very important to know. طيب. Shaykh, he said, he's a disbeliever and apostate. Thus, this will come between him and his answering the questions in the grave. He will not be able to. Because this person, he doesn't have iman. How can he answer? He will not be able to say what he said in this world, which is in the world of al-barzakh. He used to say, I testify that nothing has the right to be worshipped except Allah, and I testify that Muhammad is the messenger of Allah, with hypocrisy. Some of the people, they do that. They want to marry a woman, and they say, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, Ashhadu anna Muhammad Rasulullah, but they don't believe in it, because they want to just marry that woman. Na'udhu billah, nifaq. May Allah protect us and purify us from nifaq. طيب. But in his grave, he will not be able to say it. Rather, he will be unable to say it. And he will stammer. Means he will stutter. And say, I don't know. I heard the people saying something, so I said it. A caller will call from the heavens and say, verily my slave has lied. So spread out for him a bed from the hellfire. May Allah protect us. And open a door for him from the hellfire. His grave will become tight, such that his ribs interlock. Can you believe that? Like this. You know, when they come together like this, imagine, you cannot even imagine how painful that is going to be. It's something beyond our imagination. That's why always when you make dua, you ask Allah to save you and protect you from the punishment of the grave. All the time. And the Prophet ﷺ, he said, مَا رَأَيْتُ مَنْظَرًا إِلَّا وَالْقَبْرُ أَفْضَعُ مِنْهُ. I have never seen a scenery that is worse than the grave. The Prophet ﷺ said that. He's never seen anything worse than the grave. It's a very severe, wallahi, when you see, because you don't know what can happen to you. So that's why, ikhwan, we have to work hard. We have to work hard because we don't know how long we're gonna be on this world. You may go to sleep and you will not wake up. You wake up in the grave with the two angels asking you questions. You know, how many people went to sleep? They had no issues, no medical issues. I'm sure you heard many stories. Healthy. Some of them, they used to go to the gym. They eat good diet and everything, and then they go to sleep and they die. So we have to be prepared. And Ramadan is an opportunity for us. Now we come into the masjid. After Ramadan, we should do the same thing too. We keep up the pace. After Ramadan, you come to the salawat. How long does it take? 10 minutes, 15 minutes? Subhanallah. And when we want to go to a golf club or something like that, we make the preparation to go, right? And we go. And it's just luxury and it's entertainment, right? What about something that is wajib upon you? Now we need to change. We cannot just keep the same habit over and over. We have to change. All of us, we have to change, including myself. So we don't have time. The clock is ticking, and the angel of death can come anytime. We don't have time. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant us all al-ilm al-nafi' wal-amal salih. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Sallallahu ala Muhammad wa alihi wa sahbihi wa sallim wa aqim as-salah.